Hello, dear friends. No public events are expected until final instructions are complete. Opinion piece. Financial weapon. Golden key. Strategic delay. Economic coup. Strict protocols. Activation process. Gradual transition. We're almost there. Saint Germain trust. Signs are everywhere. This is not a fairy tale. White Swan operation. Trump's protective salt. Collective positive reset. The lock has been broken. Solar storm at the Equinox. Let's start. Excuse me. The most repressed financial weapon in the world is the Saint Germain Trust, according to Jude Bington. It's not might, but trillions of dollars in gold hidden from humanity, but sequestered by the elite. By 2025, the lock has been broken. The Gisara protocol is not a promise. It is the reset that the cabal cannot stop and the justice it cannot escape. A financial weapon is an instrument action or strategy used to influence, control, subdue, or destabilize economic actors through political tools in the financial sphere, such as sanctions, transaction blockages, market manipulation, derivatives speculation, or the use of public debt. Behind centuries of banking deceit lies a royal, legally structured, multi-trillion-dollar trust created with a single mission: to end economic slavery and restore the wealth of the people. It is the financial engine of Gisara, a target of theft and sabotage for decades, but the time for liberation is now. Definition. The Saint Germain Trust is a global prosperity fund founded by the legendary Count Saint Germain, containing precious metals and currency securities in extremely large sums, intended for the financial liberation of humankind and global prosperity programs. These funds will be released for the common good only when certain ethical and legal conditions are met internationally, in conjunction with globally transformative events. It integrates several levels of trust: royal, family, corporate, and prosperity programs, managed by hundreds of trustees at banks and designated entities worldwide, following strict protocols. Backing. The Saint Germain Trust is backed by physical gold and tangible assets, accumulated and insured over generations to operate outside the fiat debt system. It was created to dismantle central banks and redistribute global wealth after the collapse of the old model. Unlike digital illusions or speculative tokens, this trust is based to real value and designed to be dispersed directly to humanity, not to governments or corporations. Its silence never meant absence, only strategic delay. Its purpose is restitution, cancelling debt, restoring stolen generational wealth, funding Gisara worldwide, providing stipends, financing clean energy, medical beds, healing technology, and sovereign governance. This isn't welfare, it's financial justice. Why hasn't the world seen this? Because those in control never intended to free you. The banks, the IMF, the Vatican, the intelligence agencies, they all colluded to bury and defame this trust, calling it a might because its release means the loss of their power. All of Gisara's laws are tied to it: debt relief, tax elimination, sovereignty, all require the trust. Without it, there is no reset. With it, the reset is unstoppable. Today, the signs are everywhere. BlackRock faltering, corporate foreclosures under Executive Order 13,848, promissory notes with serial numbers matching those of gold, Vatican asset recoveries, ISO 20022 compliance, etc. All of these are indicators that the trust is preparing to be activated. Silent war. According to Sofia Esmeralda, the war over this trust is not being fought in headlines, but in vaults, digital servers and courts. It is the demise of central banks, the collapse of foreign corporate transaction, and the auditing of centuries of theft. Activation involves global debt cancellation, universal stipends, humanitarian funding, circulation of the gold-backed treasury dollar within the QFS, the end of fiat money and income tax, and staged waves of revelations. The elite tried to steal it. They infiltrated, silenced whistleblowers, and eliminated those who came close, but the structure held, assets were hidden, and codes were secured. By 2025, it's too late for them. This isn't a fairy tale. It is a financial blow to the people. The Saint Germain Trust Fund won't arrive because it's already here. Its activation is a process, not a televised event. If you wait for CNN to confirm it, you will be the last to know and the last to benefit. You were never supposed to be debt-free, own land, or retire with dignity. But now you'll get it, not because it was given to you, but because it was always yours, and you are getting it back. White Swan Operation. This operation continues to unfold across several continents, acting as a multi-phase takedown of World Cup assets, infrastructure and personnel. Contrary to the media silence and strategic disinformation, the campaign is gathering intensity, not diminishing, according to Ethan White of Stellar. Field intelligence confirms that tribunals, financial seizures, biological warfare interdictions, and psychological warfare counter-operations are now underway on a scale never seen before. The dismantling of financial control is not symbolic, but technical and active. Central banks are being intervened algorithmically, not just politically. The remaining connections to the fiat system are being drained through reverse trace fingerprints routed through QFS decryption nodes. As of September 20th, the integration of the QFS quantum financial system is approaching functional saturation. Coordinated shutdowns of legacy financial systems continue. 91% of SWIFT-based cross-border payment corridors are now under QFS mirror surveillance. Active node deployments in the national treasuries of the US, Brazil, Hungary, India, Kazakhstan, and Argentina have reached full operation. Operations have transitioned from isolated incursions to a synchronized multi-continental infrastructure transformation. The QFS deployment is progressing safely, and the user activation is underway in a gradual transition, determined by regional authorization status. No public events are expected until the final high-value extractions and diplomatic closures through alternative channels are completed. Until then, avoid major urban centers, avoid traveling on commercial aircraft during alert periods, and do not interact with MSM notifications or public emergency updates unless verified through secure sources integrated into the QFS. Turning point. Canada, the UK, and Australia recognize a Palestinian state. Charlie Kirk Memorial draws over 300,000 citizens. What if the White Hats knew through mirror technology that Charlie Kirk would become US president in 4 years, asks Rose Rumbles. If they believed it was predestined, now they execute a preemptive strike to eliminate Charlie and bring him and his family to safety. It's a question, not an affirmation. Division. Daryl Anka, a Bashar channeler, sees the emotional and social impact of Charlie Kirk's death and other recent violent events as symptoms of a deeper crisis of hidden agendas, division, and lack of real communication in society. He argues that external conflict reflects unresolved internal aspects of the collective shadow, which are coming to light to be acknowledged, and explain that expanding consciousness involves accepting and addressing both one's own light and darkness. Recognizing and confronting the current darkness is the necessary step toward consciously choosing a more positive version of reality and opens the possibility of a positive collective reset. He comments that humanity is in a process of split prison, that is, multiple realities emerging according to people's life choices and beliefs. It is anticipated that over time, those who choose different paradigms may even cease to perceive each other due to vibrational differences. He emphasizes the importance of letting go of polarizing agendas, communicating deeply and understanding the reasons behind other people's beliefs as a way to heal divisions. The key is to follow one's passion as the energetic translation from soul to mind and body, and transform passion into a concrete action, not just emotional aspiration. Support and abundance in the new reality will not only be economic, but will take multiple forms such as gifts, barter, synchronicities, etc., reflecting a less material and more creative approach. Violence. Juan Usabi analyzes recent violent incidents and their connection to trauma-based programming and large-scale social manipulation. He asserts that such events are orchestrated or used for trauma-based programming, with psychological operations to manipulate the population through fear and division. We are in a phase of minor guerrilla warfare. The next checkpoint is large-scale events. The current clashes represent small guerrilla actions and one of imminent large-scale events with a psychological impact on the public. Past plots have failed, but new attempts are intensifying. Violent events are orchestrated to traumatize and control society. The US is now the primary focus of these operations, the main battleground in a global psychological and physical war. The assassination of Charlie Kirk is a milestone, a point from which events are expected to accelerate. It is a polarizing event that is part of a pattern of escalating violence designed to influence or traumatize the public for political purposes. There is a breaking point in this trauma-based programming, and as people become desensitized to minor attacks, the enemy must escalate the attacks with larger events. Ultimately, this is mind control and trauma engineered globally. Trump staff. President Trump signs daily executive orders to push for QFS implementation. Military teams are ensuring GSRA compliance around the world. Quantum nodes reconcile transactions 24/7. Trump strikes back. He blocked the expansion of UN peacekeepers, reopened Guantanamo, cut federal transfers, and reactivated defense assets. The president has announced the next phase, a full audit on all foreign-funded projects, telecommunications, water systems, electric vehicle chargers, and biotech labs. Everything that has infiltrated will be removed. Look at what's happening around President Trump. His right hand is bruised, his body is under stress, and the media pretends not to voice. What you are seeing is the result of targeted attacks designed to weaken him. This isn't the first time. They tried to shoot him in last year. They poisoned his food and bombarded him with directed energy weapons to drain his strength, confuse his mind, and collapse his heart rate. They are desperate to stop him because he's the only man with the power and the will to dismantle the globalist network piece to piece. Spiritual salt. That's not common salt on Trump's table. It's not demineralized sodium chloride to keep you docile. That salt isn't just a mineral. It's an energetic transmitter. Its crystalline structure resonates at 7.83 Hz, the same frequency as the Schumann resonance. By keeping it close to the body, it perfectly harmonizes the heart and nervous system with the planet's natural field. In that state, the body not only resists external manipulation, but rejects it. When this spiritual salt is placed against your chest, there is an instant point of communication between the salt in your chest and the salt in your heart that creates a force field of positive energy. This in turn generates a harmony in your life that no talisman or trinket can offer. Jews call it Jewish salt. Buddhists call it Buddhist salt. But Christians call it Christian salt. We call it spiritual salt, but it's the same salt. Apparently, this is the Himalaya salt, famous for its pink color. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.